Hey man, what to do what it is? It's your boy, Mr. Bell, aka say your name up on this pod. Might not with you tomorrow. Now you know what time it is. Year in review. The year we have came to the end of 2024. Thankful, thankful for being here and thankful for being able to see another year. So I got some, my regular guests with me that close out the year with me. First, man, Dr. Douglas. What's going on, my brother?
As everybody doing, it's a blessing to be here for another year in review.
Okay. Next up, think she might want to, promote something. I'm gonna see if she remembers. What's up, Ashley?
What's going on? What's going on? It's great to be here again on the pod. We do have a podcast coming in 2025. Myself, Sasha, and Shavana. So we'll be dropping our podcast in 2025. Stay tuned for it. We'll release the name at a later date.
I already been releasing the name.
You already been releasing the name? Well, you released it then. Go on, sell it.
I did come up with it. So
okay, well, go ahead. Take your credit. Take your credit. Go and take your credit.
I did come up with it. So yeah, I've been on y'all podcast for I don't know about 3 months now.
Oh well, it's releasing in 2025.
Yeah, I just found that out today. I didn't know when we was doing that. Man, Mr. Burglass himself, Will's here. Shout out to Will. He occupied
What's
right now.
going on, man? Yep. Man, we made it.
Yeah, Mr. Burglass himself. So
we made it. We made it. We should be excited.
Where y'all traveling to, man?
I'm about to go get some pizza, man. I don't cook this time of year.
I have to cook this time of year. This is.
I try to do that like early. I make some chili on Saturday, man. You think that's better? It's better over there, though.
No, I have to cook for actual Christmas Day. So.
Yeah, I couldn't find no rabbit. Well, I'm still in the hunt for it. If y'all know somebody that got some rabbit, man, let me know, man.
I will let you know. All right, man. We're gonna give y'all the top stories of the year, or at least what I feel like the top stories of the year is. What I think drove the culture and drove not just the culture, drove the world. And with some of these things is gonna have lasting impacts. But let's start at the top of the year. The interview that I think created the year of the beef, which is the Cat Williams interview. I feel like this interview led to everybody feeling like they just gonna voice their opinion on the internet and just saying whatever they want to say about whoever they wanted to. They had a problem with. Cat Williams addressed Tyler Perry, Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Michael Blackston. I feel like I'm forgetting people. He out Diddy and he called them the Big D Deviants. Diddy, TD Jakes, Harry Weinstein. Just crazy he mentioned Diddy. Then Diddy had his problems coming up. We'll talk about that later. I'm gonna start with you. When you think of the Cat Williams interview, what's the first thing that comes to mind? What is the overarching, like, I can't believe he did this or said this?
My overarching thought, I think he just put everybody on Front Street. I feel like he had nothing to lose. I mean, I think he knows how to make money. Let me say that. And he knows how to make money for other people, right? So you release all this, you say all these things, right? And then next thing you know, you're going on this tour. So, I mean, let's be honest. And then you're doing that. You're doing Club Shay Shay, right? So you making money for him too. So not only are you making money for other people, but what I find interesting is very few people really clap back though. So it almost makes you believe that there is some validity to some of the things being said. That's all I can say.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Steve Harvey talked about whooping his perm out. I remember that. Cedric and Ricky, they all kind of took the high road. You know what I'm saying? Michael Blackston, he did what he did. That's just what he does. And then of course Tyler Perry don't respond to nobody.
He doesn't, right? He's too busy making his money doing what he do. So
because that led into the Monique interview that came up like the next month. You know, Monique lit a bunch of people up as well.
Well, she's been laying people out though. Well before now, though. Well before Cat Williams. I give her that. She and to that point though, with her particularly, she's had some validity to some of her statements too. I mean, she had receipts on some stuff, so I'll just leave it at that on that note.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Hart, and Earthquake. Them was the other people. He, like you said, he came at so many people that the names escaped me as many people as he.
I mean, he just went after the comedy industry as a whole, as a collective.
Yes, and he took shots at everybody. He did praise Monique, though. That's the one thing he will say. He did praise Monique. He said a lot of things. Come on, I'm coming to you with this. Do you find it to be believable?
See, the thing is, like with Kevin Hart though, like he's in a unique space in his career though. So
he called him a plant.
Huh?
He called Kevin Hart a plant, which he's been saying for a long time. He called him a plant.
See, and that's what I'm getting to. He's in a unique space in his career where he is completely independent. He is not bound, tied, expected to do nothing to any contract. He's able to make his money and operate how he sees fit to do. Now, a lot of these other individuals, of course, there's various roles in which you have to take. You know, remember one of you. I remember my father and his friends talking about it years ago when Wesley Snipes got to do the Blade trilogy movies. A part of him being able to do the Blade trilogy movies is he had to do Tu Wong Fu for Judy Newmar, where he had to dress up as a drag queen as he was going across America. That was part of his deal. There's various deals that have been given out inside of Hollywood for individuals since they've been letting people inside of that kind of place, man. You know, when you have a system where you have people at the top that are able to control who makes the money, control where the money goes at, and they can write anybody off at the drop of a dime, of course, there's going to be a lot of things that are going on. So to hit the truth of his matter of what he's saying, it's like I'm kind of in the matter of say that it's not true, you know,
okay.
prove him wrong, you know. Let's see if it's not. And to what people are saying, you know, they acted as if it's not. But of course, too, with all these rumors, it's not like he's the only person. He's some lone wolf. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's the first time anybody said anything close to this. You know, then of course, too, with this whole other thing, with exposing all of these truths, you know, same way with the Me Too movement, people feel a little bit, you know what I'm saying, more validated with their experiences. So people begin to speak out again. You know?
Yeah. People got to voice their opinions and speak out. I do want to point out in the shots he took at Cedric Entertainment, he said that Cedric stole his joke, and Cedric looked at him as a no-name. He looked at Cat Williams as a no-name comic, and who was just, you know, I could take his joke. It's just me. I remember seeing both of them jokes performed. Cedric did his under King Comedy. Cat Williams did his. I forgot what special. I think it was the American one or something. I won't say that one, but I think Cedric did his joke better. Personally, I think his was funnier. Am I wrong? Come on.
I don't know if we watched the same rendition of those jokes being told, man. I don't know. Now I will say, of course, that Cedric's response was a little bit better. His delivery, of course, was different. It did not have as much detail in the character description as Cat Williams did. He kind of changed the joke up a little bit because he had to change it up as a little variant, which he did, which made it his own. Right. You know, so of course, yes, it is his joke, but you know what I'm saying, to cry about something like that is kind of asinine, I think, anyway, because the whole point of comedy is, of course, is to take stuff that you heard and to change it up and to put your flavor on there. Now, he might have not added as much flavor as he should have, but you know, I don't think he really should have griped about it. You know, as far as his career as a stand-up comic, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Steve Harvey definitely doing stand-up no more. He don't get no material. You know, he don't know what to say no more. He don't.
No, Steve Harvey been out the stand-up game for a while. He's
just a figure now. You feel me? That's cool. That's what he wanted to do.
He's he's a talk show host at this point. That's
Yeah.
what
I mean,
a
but he's
motivational
making his
speaker.
money doing that.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what I mean?
He's went into other spaces, right? So for me, it's like, well, if you just because you're not a comedian anymore, right? You get into what made your career, but then you start to expand out. It's no different than, you know, singers and rappers and performers in general who start off doing music but then end up in movies. I mean, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. That's why I'm saying it's not really no point in saying nothing about it for real. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Because that doesn't really change up how Steve Harvey relates to comedy. It'd be one thing, of course, if Steve Harvey was still an active stand-up comic, you know, and that would be something to bring up that he's active, but oh, by the way, he took my stuff so many years ago, but he's not even doing active stand-up though. So it's not even really relevant. It shouldn't have been. You know?
Actually, made me think somebody else. He took shots at Ludacris too, talking about rapper that turned actor. He took shots at Ludacris, calling him a member of the Illuminati. I'm gonna put y'all on the spot though. And this is their primes, and this is when they was being stand-up comics. I'm gonna give y'all these 5 comics, and I want y'all to rank them. They're Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and we'll go Ricky Smiley. He took shots at Michael Blackson, but I'll leave Michael Blackson off. We'll go with those 5 in their prime. I won't get your opinions on the Cat interview, but this question just came to me. I want y'all to blind rank. Who won't go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Can you run me the comedians again? I know a few. I think I lost you. So Ricky Smiley, Cat Williams, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and
Kevin Hart.
All right.
Stand up.
Okay. This is truly blind, man. I'm gonna go with my truth, how I feel. I love Cedric the Entertainer, so I'm putting him at 1. My 2 would be I'm gonna go on this list. God, I guess I would go with Kevin Hart for my 2. My 3 would be Cat Williams. My 4, Steve Harvey. And my 5, they said Michael Blackson.
Ricky Smiley.
Oh yeah, Ricky Smiley. My bad. Same person. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, that's my 5. Like I said, I'm a lifetime Cedric the Entertainer fan. I liked him ever since the King of Comedies. I watched him growing up on the show with Steve Harvey. He was the funny one on the show. And he's his kind of stand up is classic. So yeah, I'm going Cedric for 1.
All right. Kamar.
Okay, give me the names one more time again.
All right, Cat Williams.
Okay.
Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley.
Okay, so my bottom 2 is not necessarily because they my bottom 2 because they suck, and only because I haven't really seen that much of them. You know what I'm saying? Of course, a variety with like Steve Harvey out of the other ones, I don't think he's just qualified. So I'm gonna put Ricky Smiley at the bottom, and I'm gonna do Steve Harvey. Cedric's gonna be number 3, and then of course you said in a prime, just actual jokes alone and cultural relevance. I say Cat. For entertainment aspects, you know, and crowd pulls, definitely Kevin Hart. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard 1 and 2 right there for me. But I have to give the 1 to Cat though, and then number 2 to Kevin. Just because I feel like he does a little bit. For me, he's more relevant with the stuff I like to hear about. So that's why I had to pick up 1. Guys too.
Okay. All right. That's why I said at their primes. Because for me, if you take Cat at his prime, it's kind of hard. It's hard to compete with Cat at his prime.
Yeah.
It's go ahead, Ash, before I get mad. I was ready to go.
I mean, I'm gonna put Cat at number 1. I honestly like Ricky Smiley. I'm just not able to, like, Ricky Smiley is funny to me. So I would probably put Ricky Smiley at number 2. I'm not a big Kevin Hart fan. I'm really not. Like I yeah, I guess I would put him at number 3, but I'm not a big fan of Kevin Hart. I don't find Kevin Hart to be all that funny. So like I'm not eager to go to one of his stand-ups. I would definitely go to Cat Williams stand-up, and I definitely would go to Ricky Smiley stand-up. But so I guess I would put Kevin at number 3. And then I think I would do Cedric and then Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think Steve is funny too, but in his prime, I mean, the Kings of Comedy was pretty good, but yeah, I'm picking Cat though, and I actually do like Ricky Smiley, and Ricky Smiley does have a fan base. Like he's making his money too.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he's not as global, but he has his set group of fans. And those of us that like him. I mean, right? Like he has jokes, he is funny. And he's still funny even now, right? Even though he doesn't do a lot of stand-up. So that's just my
The other thing that
Ricky stand up back in the day.
Yeah.
You gotta really if you know Ricky, you just all you have to say is comics view Ricky.
Right.
And if you go back to there, you can say, man, that guy can as far as jokes went, he had the best ones. He could have thrown them with anybody. So yeah, I mean Ricky's solid. I'm not taking nothing away from Ricky, putting him at 5 or even forgetting who he was. Honestly, I just forgot who I had left to choose from. But yeah, Ricky solid though, man. I fuck with Ricky. Yeah, but I don't know. I've always loved Cedric. The Kings of Comedy came out. I was a little kid going on my like preteen probably. So like I heard all of them. Bernie Mac, classic. Cedric's was classic. Steve Harvey was good, but like I just love Cedric ever since the Kings of Comedy and the TV shows he did. So yeah, it was just my fanhood. I'm mostly showing on mines. I wouldn't say like anything like numbers or anything wise. I couldn't tell you, but that was fanhood.
Yeah, I think if I'm doing my personal, I will put Cedric 1. I will put Cat at 2. I will put Steve at 3, Ricky at 4, Kevin at 5. And there ain't no slight to Kevin. It's just like Ashley said, I find Kevin funny, but I feel like I laugh more watching those stand-up specials, the other people's stand-up specials, than I did with Kevin's. Kevin has some great moments, but yeah. But Will, what do you think of the Cat Williams interview and everybody that he threw up under the bus? I don't know. Maybe Will probably still ordering his pizza. I don't. Hey, you got to eat. I ain't mad at you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, they are good.
I'm not. It just wouldn't let me talk. I kept saying, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" So I'll be honest. I watched the interview in clips. I've never sat down and watched the whole interview. So I'm just judging on the clips I seen. There's always truth. There's a little truth in it. There's truth in everything. Most people got their side of it, what they seen, and it very well could have been what was happening from their point of view. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, as far as comedy goes, jokes are gonna get recycled a little bit, guys. Like a lot of y'all live the same lives. You grow up similar, and you find the same things funny as a kid, and that's what you basing your comedy on. So jokes are gonna sound similar to each other. So like the doctor said, he switched it up a little bit. So maybe he heard the joke somewhere other than Cat, and he heard this version. So that's why he switched it up. And then Cat's like, you stole my joke. Well, Cat, you heard it from somebody else probably too. Shit.
That is a good point. That a lot of us, we do live the similar lives. So of course, there's going to be some overlap in the jokes. So, like I said, it's the year of the beef. The beef continues. I think the hip hop beef of the year, which made a lot of news in hip hop, was Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. They took a lot. They took a lot back and forth at each other, a lot of shots. Me and Will did a lot of podcasts covering all these damn songs because they feel like they're released every other day. Just as soon as somebody, got the opportunity to go in the studio. Dr. Douglas, what did you make of the Kendrick and Drake beef?
Who you asking?
Dr. Douglas, you.
Okay. So me, I think with the whole beef in general, that Drake did technically the thing that he hates being notarized as. People always use this image of Drake and saying that this is light skin activities. You know what I'm saying? People always do that. They always do that. He did the most light skin thing you could do with the rap beef. He brought in popular middle class America to a rap beef. I saw so many videos of white middle class kids showing their grandparents and their parents these songs and asking them about this rap beef and having them laughing because their parents had no idea who either one of these guys were. And the kids just tripping out because everybody knows about this rap beef and their parents have no idea about it. He did the most light skin activity possible for a rap beef.
Is that his fault? Is that his fault?
I've been saying, I don't know. So it calls me that.
He's
So
popular. So of course all these little kids know him.
Exactly, but it caused me also to wonder too, was it a ploy? I thought maybe it was a ploy, but then I saw Drake again doing very Drake activities. He got in his feelings during the beef. Again, something like he's following regular Drake rules. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to really take it. He did what I thought he was going to do. I didn't expect him to do it that way. But I'm not surprised at none of his actions that he did. But as again, though, I don't think anybody's ever going to say this about the rap beef. But that's what he did. He Drake and ass the rap beef, man. He definitely did. He did.
All right, I got some pushback, but I'm gonna wait to the end. I'm waiting. I want everybody have the opportunity to go before I give my pushback because I feel like never mind. Ashley, is anything you would like to say? I know Drake.
I mean, I like rap beefs, and I'm gonna say I'm a Kendrick fan. Like, I have nothing against Drake, but if I had to say who won this beef, I mean, personally, I'm going with Kendrick.
I don't think. I mean, we know Kendrick won.
You know what? We need to put that out there for the people.
So you think so?
I feel like we do because there's some people that's just diehard Drake fans, and it's like lyrically, Kendrick killed him.
Killed is very. These are strong words that people are.
I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, cool. That's my stance, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Come on.
These are strong words. You and Dr. Douglas have made some claims that I will that I am going to address.
I mean, you can address it. Get Will's take first, and then we gonna address it. At the end of the day, Kendrick was that dude. Q. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that whatsoever. Not at all. Will, me and you, we did this to something. Me, you, and Joe, we did this a lot to something with that beef.
Yeah, we covered it.
We covered it, and you know my feelings about the situation, but I want you to, tell the audience what you thought of the beef overall, especially now because we ain't talked about the lawsuits and stuff since.
All right, so at this point, though, I think it's just been drawn out a little too far. I felt that way a long time ago. I think and now the beef is like, even though it's not active anymore, it's really commercial. So it kind of takes a little bit away from it for me. I think it was just like, I mean, you don't have to crown a winner. I ain't a fan of Kendrick. It's like album cuts, but I know he won that battle.
Sure.
Said you don't have to crown a winner. I just did. Yeah, this is after that. But what I was gonna say was even a deaf man could hear that. He's like, I did that. But I really enjoyed the battle, though. Honestly, it got overwashed. Everybody just kind of when it became commercial, when you start hearing Not Like Us, all the stadiums, the ESPN games, it was like, come on, man, for real. Like this is like it's just a little too commercial now. So I enjoyed it. I think they'll both be okay after it. I don't think it'll be like no career ending shit, like the 50 and Ja beef. Like 50 really hurt Ja's career after that. So I don't think it'll be like that, but it was fun to watch. Or listen to, I should say.
What you think about the lawsuits? Drake introducing lawsuits into the matter.
Yeah, that's when it gets a little tricky. So you
again, he drinking the rat beef. Again, you don't do that. You don't do that.
You lose some points for that.
Okay. Right. I think you lose a lot. I personally do think you lose a lot of points for that, for bringing lawsuits into the situation. I disagree with Ashley on that Kendrick killed him. I think personally, it's just me and nobody's here. I listen to more Drake than I listen to Kendrick. I do listen to both, but I do listen to more Drake. So let me say that to begin with. I feel like if you're asking me, Drake had the best song in the rap beef. But Kendrick but it's nothing you could do with Not Like Us. Just kind of like Will brought up 50 Cent and Ja Rule. It's nothing that Ja Rule could have done with Wankster. Once Wankster came out, it was over. There's nothing you could do. It's nothing you could do with it. It's just you're gonna take your L and let it go. Just so happened 50 Cent and Ja Rule have never let it go. And we talking about 20 years later. But going back to the Drake and the Kendrick, Not Like Us, when people out here screaming A minor and stuff like that, and you get the Mustard chants and all of that, it's nothing you could do with that. Mustard helped this beef go the way it did because that beat was incredible. That Not Like Us beat was incredible. I do think Drake lyrically held his own for the most part with Kendrick. And that goes back to I wanted to address what Dr. Douglas said, where he Drakenized this beef. I don't think Drake's the one that made this the light-skinned behavior. Because Drake has beef with people, right? Let's be real. Drake has been in more beef than a lot of rappers have ever been in. Him and Common had his little situations. Of course, now he got this thing with Kendrick and Rick and Future and I was going to say Mike Will made it, but it's Metro Boomin. He also had his beef famously with Meek Mill. Him and Jay has thrown jabs at one another. Him and Kanye thrown jabs at one another. Drake has been in a lot of scuffles. This guy popularized, and I don't think it's Drake's fault. That's the thing I want to push back on. I don't think Drake made this the popular, light-skinned behavior. We gonna do this. We gonna play this out on social media and all of that. I think the fans, again, go back to it's nothing you can do with Not Like Us. Once Not Like Us came out, it took it to those extremes. I don't feel like we should put that on Drake.
Now, look, okay. Now, there is one thing I want everybody to always to understand. I definitely do. There's always a way to be able to spin something the way in which you want to. So I can take what you just said, and I can make that prove even more that what I stated was even truer. Okay. So, additionally, we go back to this light-skinned behavior conversation. So imagine you are light-skinned, you are consistently getting beat up and you getting bullied. There comes a point where you get tired of that, where you say, no, I'm sick of this. They should know to leave me alone by now. Why are they still picking on me? Let me go call the popo. That's what he did.
Yeah, we can't. I'm not defending the lawyer situation. I'm not defending that.
Name all them beefs that he was in. He got tired. He's like,
here's the thing. He didn't even just call the police, bro. He called the police after he fought back. So like that makes it even worse. Like you fought and took your L, and when they ain't at your door no more, it was just everybody outside talking about you. And now you gonna call the police? Nah, come on, bro. That's real shaky.
And hold on, in fairness to Drake, because I feel like people don't say this enough. He didn't sue Kendrick. He sued his record label and he sued Spotify. It ain't like he went to Kendrick after Kendrick kept swinging on him and said, now you gonna pay for my hospital bills. That's not what he did. He went to his label and said, I think y'all pushing this record because y'all don't want to pay me my money.
But see, the thing is though, if he was not in his feelings when all of this stuff went off, he could have capitalized on this shit his own self. He could have heard him act the feds, calling his little publicist or whatever, and put some shit in writing or something. He could have, every time somebody did some shit, posted some shit, he could have got paid for that shit too, though, man. You know what I mean? And I think what it is, he realized that on the back end of it, and he was like, "Well, fuck it, they won't give me this, and I already missed off on this other shit. Let me see what I can get out on this way." But I think you finally realized that, though, man. You know. And that's the thing about it, though. Like, there's no way you should really be in no business like that, especially at the level that he's at. You know what I'm saying? You sit in front row at the game. You inside the motherfucking locker room. They won a national championships and shit. Like, you ain't supposed to be out here doing no rap beef, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you are, you need to be ready to capitalize to make sure you can monetize this shit the right kind of way. Don't just be out there just fucking off. You know what I mean?
At some point, you gotta ignore it.
And he was like, "Let me try to get some money back off of it."
I think Will is right. Sometimes you do gotta ignore it. You're right. You gotta be able to monetize it. I think it's kind of hard to do those things when the person you battle against hates your guts. Because let's be clear.
But that's the ultimate.
This was personal for Kendrick. This was personal for Drake.
To get paid every time you say something against me, I get paid for that. So what? You paying me? Thank you. Hate me some more.
Nah, you're right, and I get that, but at the same time, I feel like light skin behavior. If Kendrick was throwing shots at him and Drake don't say nothing, then we really give Drake the light skin behavior title too.
I mean, at the end of the day,
we didn't do for Wayne.
How do you be? This is my thing, flat out. You are not moving in a hip hop way. If you have to, go to the police and sue, come on, bro. It's a part of the hip hop game. It's a part of the game. Like when you signed up for this is what you signed up for. Like he lost credibility in my world. Period. I like Drake. I like his music, but right there in the hip hop game, for me, he lost credibility. Q.
No, you can't defend the lawyer situation. That I'm not defending. The lawyer situation is kind of. I just wanted to
like what? Like you can't listen. As many beats as hip hop has had, he is the only one that I know of, and I could be wrong because somebody fact check me. But I've never heard of anybody else doing this nonsense. Period.
No, I can't think of nobody else that called the lawyers.
Right. Like if that was the case, then we should have done that from the beginning.
Yeah, no, I can't think of nobody else that called the lawyers. Yeah, I can't. You can't defend the lawyers.
So to me, you got in your feelings, and that's what you resorted to. You got in your feelings.
Now
this is hip hop. Like what? If you gonna have a beef, have the beef. Now I ain't trying to see nobody die, nothing like that. I ain't promoting violence. But if you gonna have a rap beef, have a rap beef, and the results need to be what they are.
Yeah,
you lost credibility for me.
Yeah, I also too with your credibility, there has to be a layer of accountability as well too. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to say that you got to be accountable whatever job you have. This is your job as a rapper. You know
this. Sure.
Right. So what are we talking about? Like, why is what? You going to get attorneys involved? Yeah. Nah, bro. You lost credibility.
Think about it too, though. That's always like word for me too, though. Like this is like no shade towards Drake or towards Drake for nothing. He's a hell of an artist. He is. But I've been telling people for years, like I don't know what to call what he does, but it's more than just rap music. He's pop. It's beyond that shit. You feel me? Like his music is all kinds of genres and shit, though. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, it's weird for people even to have beef with him. You battling an R&B singer, basically. You know, so he raps a little bit, yeah, but, he talks about feelings and shit. Like, he's not trying to hurt anybody. Sometimes he gets a little rough, He talks about O's and things. He might do a little stuff, but he ain't trying to hurt nobody.
Yeah, but the feelings thing, I think that's rap now.
It is.
The rappers, they talk about feelings. The rappers I grew up listening to never really talked about feelings.
Yeah.
But
they talked about feelings, but these rappers talk about a different aspect. You know? You had guys who rapped about things like, missing their loved ones who passed away. That's your feelings. You talk about your homeboys who passed, how you miss them, Master P, Uh, Lil Wayne had, I mean, not Lil Wayne, but
Yeah, man, I miss my dogs. So yeah.
yeah, but when nobody was dead. But that's his feelings, though. Nonetheless, he's missing someone. He's, having feeling a certain type of way. So they rapped about him. Now, I guess maybe because like the mental health awareness type thing, like they're paying more attention to their feelings and rapping about it.
Which is ain't nothing. Hey, more power to
No,
them.
ain't nothing wrong with them. No, they need to do it.
Yeah,
They can
nothing
make
wrong
better
with it.
decisions.
Oh, speaking of Kendrick, I'm gonna ask you, throw this out here real quick. I just want a yes or no. Dr. Douglas, do you think Kendrick Lamar was the right choice for the Super Bowl in New Orleans, or should it have been Lil Wayne?
I myself do not know if I would say that Kendrick is the best choice or the right choice, or if he should be the choice. I'm looking forward to what his show is going to be like. But I do know that it shouldn't have been Lil Wayne. I know that much.
Said it shouldn't have been?
No.
Okay, why do you think it shouldn't have been Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne and the kind of performer that he is, he has a strong fan base. He does. He makes a lot of money from touring. He makes a lot of money, especially from touring overseas. A lot of money from doing various things. But Lil Wayne, his own self, has proclaimed his own self that he is kind of like standoffish from American culture in general. It even makes statements publicly, various ways in which he speaks. It's like he's not really concerned at all about anybody or anything but himself in general most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, sometimes now he speaks out only when he is not the one that's chosen for something he expects is supposed to be over on what he's doing. But I myself, what I'm saying, like, if Lil Wayne's coming, you feel me, like, honestly, right now, if Lil Wayne was to come here to Louisville's a hard place to sell out an arena.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? It is. It really is. But if Lil Wayne came, of course, yes, he's just going to sell out. If Kendrick comes, it's going to sell out. But the energy and the way that the crowd is going to be sometimes completely different, especially the show and shit. So I don't really know, bro. But as far as for the actual Super Bowl, I don't think Lil Wayne is the one for that. I don't think it is myself.
Yeah, you heard a lot about Lil Wayne is not the best performer. You heard a lot of those stories being told. Ashley, do you have thoughts on that?
I think for me, would I have liked to see somebody from New Orleans perform? The answer to that question is yes. Is Lil Wayne the right person? No. Because honestly, half the time I don't know what he's saying. Not in recent years. Like, I mean, he don't really have no new music anyway. That's number one. He don't that I'm aware of. I could be wrong. I don't really think he has any recent music, right? Now, can I get with old Wayne when he first, Hot Boys, all that, like back in that time? I could probably get with it. But some of the the new stuff that ain't really that new, half the time we don't know what he's saying. So I'm not really, would I have liked to see somebody from New Orleans? Yes. Lil Wayne is probably the only most relevant New Orleans artist that's still out there, technically speaking. So I understand the sentiment of wanting him to perform, but is he the best choice? No. And I would have liked to see somebody from New Orleans because of that, right? Atlanta last year, of course, Usher put on for Atlanta, right? He's from there.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to have seen that from New Orleans, but you don't really have an artist, and Wayne is probably the closest to that. But I mean, unless you're doing old Wayne, I don't know. I don't agree. Like I just, if he had better music and newer music, then I probably could see that. And I understand why, because he's from New Orleans. So he just want to put on for his city. But from a commercialized decision, it was the best decision to put Kendrick, to be honest. But I would have liked to have seen somebody from New Orleans, but there's nobody that comes to mind at the top of the list. Yeah, Wayne would be that. He would be the one.
Yeah, it's not even a rock group or a pop group that I can think of from New Orleans off the top of my head that would even make sense to be their representative.
Right. So like Wayne would be the choice, but I don't think he has enough pop culture hits, he ain't crossed over in that way. So Kendrick has, and that's what it comes down to. It's the NFL. It's the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Uh,
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I have to. Ashley, you're one of my favorite people to ever do this thing with, and most of your statement was correct. It would be better if it was some years ago, and he wasn't at the stage that he's at right now, as far as his lifestyle may have gotten him to. Like, it just doesn't seem to be a lot of coherent, right?
Right.
And Doctor, you was right too, because he has been a little shady to the whole American culture, but he has stayed strong in football. Like, football has been one place where he's like kind of kept his nose in. But as far as his hits, I think, like the Super Bowl to me is like your greatest hits type of show. If he was in better condition, I think he would have definitely had the hits for it. But I just don't want to see him out there like that. Like, I've seen shows and clips of shows, and he just don't seem to be a performer that you would want to see in this stage.
Yeah.
Like years ago, I grew up with Wayne, so I remember him running around stage, in his youth, and doing it with the Hot Boys, and they're doing it with Nicki and Drake and them, and being a little more laid back because he had gotten a little older. But it's like he almost like aged a whole lifetime in front of us. Like, we've seen that energy as the youth, and then as he got a little bit older, we've seen him slow down, and now we're seeing him like almost to the point to where like you would think he would retire. I told myself the other day they should just send him to some island and cut his hair and do a total freaking rehabilitation type thing, and then bring him back and let him do the Super Bowl.
They gonna re-image Lil Wayne.
They have to, man. Just let him start off. I said take him gold. I can give him some new white ones. He'd be all right. You feel me? Bring him back a new Wayne and just let us the best fresh track.
But one thing that I do want to add too that I had thought about that popped in my head when Ashley started speaking as well too, man. And of course, one thing that I do think that I hope that Kendrick will do is, since he's not from there, and I know y'all both stating that there's no like artist that y'all can see, what I'm saying, that nobody can think of from New Orleans currently. But I know there has to be some young dudes or some young females or somebody that are doing something. I hope you bring some of that energy out there with him too when he comes, man.
He's big on bounce music, so like he should just have a whole section of his show dedicated to somebody in the bounce community who's doing it, at the peak right now. So yeah, I think he could do that. But I'll be honest, I'm not looking forward to watching Kendrick at the halftime. I'm just not. I really ain't. I just say I'm not looking forward to it.
And the thing is, like, it's so weird to me too, because I know, like, of course, me growing up, like halftime Super Bowl, like nobody black we never really watched it for real, especially way back in the 80s and 90s, because we wasn't nobody of us on for real. So everybody was out bullshit during halftime. You feel me? So,
but now it's the thing.
Yeah,
they actually like I said, they include the black artists now. There's been a run of black artists that's been performing at the Super Bowl. We could attribute that to Jay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rock Nation. They
also the culture, hip hop culture and R&B culture is really more pop culture now than anything. We have invaded a lot of those airwaves.
But also too, we gotta remember too though that they are definitely tracking. They tracking how many people's actually viewing the shit. That's why the commercial space is so high for that. So also too, they tracking who's been watching the halftime. So when the numbers go up with certain artists, they can't even deny that. They got to keep bringing artists that's similar to that.
Yeah, you're right. I think
the numbers do speak, Dr. Douglas. That's what it is, because it's all about the money, right, and the viewership, right. So what's going to bring in the bang for their buck at the end of the day? And also too, let's be honest, it's helping to somewhat, I ain't gonna say completely, reshape the NFL's image, right? because they were in a lot of controversy 2019, 2020, 2018, 2017, right? So what do? Not because you want to maintain your viewership. Let's be honest. It's all about a business at the end of the day. It's still business.
Yeah, and the thing is that now, granted, with all the stuff that they have done, you know what I'm saying, to us as Black people, one thing that we have never done, which is so crazy, we should be the one doing it, but it's weird to me, you know, how many people have threatened to cancel their NFL subscription and do all this stuff. They out there burning up stuff and doing all this stuff, and they never change this stuff. They're like, no, fuck it, because we know where the money's at. You know, so it's weird. It's weird in that aspect that we are seeing this, that we are able to control revenue in a certain kind of way on streams and stuff. We can also control the same revenue in other aspects of life too, if we put that energy that other kind of way too. Though. Just throwing it out there.
Me actually talked about that earlier because I continue to say that Amazon is going to put a bunch of stores out of business. And the best way to prevent that and to help local economies is to not buy from Amazon as much.
Yeah.
It'd be even better if you go to your mom and pop shops. But, you know, people's not going to do that because Amazon is convenient and it pops up at your house 2 days for the most part. It pops up at your house for the most part for 2 days. So people's going to continue to support Amazon. But that is why Party City is closing. That's why Big Lots is closing. You could, to a lesser degree, you could say that's why Family Dollars is closing a lot of stores. But I think that's more so of Dollar General.
That was poor business that merger with Dollar Tree.
The thing about the part about that is so scary though, like if that trend continues to grow, you know, you're gonna have like less people even willing to like leave the house. You already got some people that don't even leave to get groceries. Like, you know,
yes.
So my thing about the common person, my belief is, as far as Amazon ripping stuff off, I actually talked to my sister about this earlier. A lot of the stores you're seeing that are closing didn't really take efforts to adjust to the new game, right? So like Big Lots wasn't a big online type of store. You wasn't buying from Big Lots online. If you was, you really wasn't. Like most people wasn't buying from Big Lots online.
If you was, it was fine. It wasn't your day-to-day necessities.
Yeah, and then they focused on that and half their store with that. So the business model probably started to not work anymore. So they didn't want to change up anything. So I think it's about being able to adapt. You have to adapt as businesses. You have to keep doing that. And the 1% closing, they just may be out of deals. And Amazon is going to keep moving. Amazon's purchasing other businesses, getting into different technologies. Amazon isn't just an online e-commerce website anymore. Like that's not who they are. That's not even the majority of their revenue don't come from that. So, I mean, yeah, they're going to kill some places, but I think it will be the rebirth of mom and pops because of they're going to kill the other like corporations. People are always going to want to go and shop for something. You always got those people like who die hard. I need to go to the store and see what I'm buying.
Yeah. I prefer that.
To your point, Will, I have seen that, you know, I have seen a lot of that, but what I've seen, like the rebirth of the mom and pop, is not necessarily like studs, it's more so like with contractors and stuff, though. So a lot of them, you feel me, like they gave up a whole lot. A lot of these trucks going around now, you know what I'm saying, with they work trucks, they even got QR codes on their trucks and all types of stuff to be able to get people right there. So they are doing a lot of adapting and stuff. So it will be interesting to see how retail mom and pop stuff, how they actually try to do like some type of shift. And I've noticed a shift with the contractors though. So like these big companies, like the ones we have here, you know, like the Donna Howard and stuff, the ones that used to only focus on plumbing, now they're trying to expand in other markets and stuff as well too, doing full bathroom remodels and everything else. But like the personal individual contractors, they are now almost pushing them out or pushing them up against the wall, you know what I'm saying? Which is good to see. You know, so that's one aspect that I have seen a change in as far as that. But of course, that's a whole different type of aspect of retail and needs individuals need though. So
it is all about the game is all about adjusting. You got to adjust to the times and be able to transform at a moment's notice, and you know, keep an eye out on what the future holds. Speaking of the future, in America's future, Donald Trump was reelected to president of the United States of America. Ashley, we got Trump again.
Yeah. If I'm honest, I'm disappointed in that result, but you know, you live and you learn, right? And at the end of the day, I mean, he's the president, so we'll see what happens. But I think people, families, and those, you know, I think everybody needs to be prepared for what will be in the next 4 years. I don't envision that this is necessarily going to be great leadership. Is it possible that he will do some positive things? Absolutely, but I'm not enthused by that pick. And if I'm being honest, I think with the results of that, America chose, and I think it's disappointing in the sense that morals and values don't seem to matter as much anymore, and it's progressively getting worse, I guess, from my perspective. You know, so for me, it was definitely disappointing, and you know, I had to take a moment, you know, for myself. I will say though, I have not interacted with the news, national news, for the most part since the election. I just wasn't in a space to deal with it. Like, truthfully, it was disheartening. The results were disheartening for me personally. However, you know, like I said, he's still the president, and so we'll see what happens in the next 4 years. Not to say that he won't do anything positive, but I was disappointed in that, and I had to take a moment for myself, especially being a Black woman, and that's honesty.
Yeah,
so.
It's a conversation I was having with a Caucasian woman, and she said, I don't see the racism that everybody else sees in Trump. And I said, it's because you're not getting your news from the same places. And you're Caucasian, so you don't see what we see. You don't see what the Blacks, the Asians, the Middle Easterns, or the way that he treats women. You don't see that because you got a blind eye to it because you ain't looking for
it.
Yeah, you're not looking for it.
It's blaring though. Like, yeah, it would be one thing if he hit it like that. Like I would almost got mad at her. Like it would be one thing if he hit it, lady. But if you don't see that, you Stevie Wonder to the world. Like, you just don't want to see nothing. Like, so okay, take it with your blinders, because that's what they do. They put on their blinders when it comes to Trump. I didn't back away from the news like Ashley. I should have backed away from it, but I just kind of like dove a little bit more deeper into it. And it was just, I just don't see how it happens. And then they say what fueled it was some of the Latino vote. How? Like that blows my mind. How? You know, like, it's like, really, like, but I can't vote for nobody but myself. I have to worry about my circle, right?
Yeah.
In this big system, all you can really control is what's going on around you. Whatever comes from the top, you just gotta react to it. So we living in like a reactive world. You just react to whatever comes your way. So that's all I'll do. I'll continue to move like I move. I think people are stupid for thinking that inflation is going to stop because they got him in office and he talking about tariffs. Like, you can't even put 2 and 2 together. You shouldn't be able to vote. Like, we should ask you that question before you walk in. Like, what does this mean? Like, you can't vote. Never mind. Go home. You stupid.
I just want to say something real quick before you go, Dr. Douglas.
Uh-huh.
The thing you said, I should have got mad at her. What I did was enlighten her. So
I get it.
Everything that I seen, I sent it to her. So now she's like, "Oh, I made the wrong choice." Well, yeah, you did. You should.
Well, I don't want to back. Don't tell me that, because don't back at me. I made the wrong choice. Okay, well, let's get in this time machine. Sus.
True, but all you can do at this point is enlighten her. Like as she said, he's the president now. Ain't nothing I can do. It is what it is. But I got to enlighten you to see what's going on in the future. So when his vice president is trying to run, you don't elect him.
Right. Now see, the thing is though, like American society, we have created this turmoil that we are in where individuals expect immediate gratification. So for some reason, we have people, of course, and then also too, this goes in which the way that politics and government is taught inside of schools, because individuals think, as Will was stating with the inflation aspect, that at the drop of a dime, that our economic system is going to change because somebody's elected. That's not how this shit fucking works. But this is how people see that shit. You feel me? And it's fucking maddening to think that. So individuals think that Trump is responsible for the economic system that he was placed into the office of. They also think that he was responsible for the unemployment rate. No, it was Obama that took the time to do that. If you take any time out to look at historically the trends in the past presidential elections within like the last 25 to 30 years, you will see that any time that there is a Republican president that is our president, there is an economic recession that follows behind that. And then after that, there's a Democratic president that spends their time in office trying to reset, to rehandle, to get the economic system back to its place. Once it's back in place, people get tired of the rules, so they don't ever get to take that extra step. Then when people get tired of the rules, then they put another Republican back in place to fuck the economy back up again. Then they put another fucking Democrat back in there to put the rules back on. Same fucking cycle. People think the shit's gonna change. It's fucking not. And it's so sad to see too that there's so many people that are new immigrants into our country that are citizens. You know, a lot of individuals, of course, from the Middle East completely voted against what the Democrats were doing because they did not like the response that the Democrats had for Palestine currently. And in their mind, they thought that Trump himself would do a better job. How the fuck could you think that? This motherfucker overly speaks that he's sad with Israel. And he's trying to bomb the fuck out of you. But y'all stupid asses is going to go vote for this motherfucker trying to do that because y'all don't think that they doing enough. They can't do more than what they doing. And they definitely going to do better than what the fuck he going to do. But people think that this shit's supposed to change in the instant, though, man. And we have to do a better job at educating people. Like there should be similar type of qualification to be able to vote, but it's not ever going to change like that. And then of course too, where we are staying there now, even what you said with your coworker, where you get your information from, it's already going on what your likes are. So if you see they want something one way, all you're going to see if you only look at that is the way in which you want to train your mind to see. You know what I mean? You're not going to see the other side unless you take time to look at it. And nobody trains their man to consistently fan shit that goes against what they like. You know what I mean? People don't take time to do that. You know? Not, you know what I mean? But you should both sides always, though. At least try to so you can make sense of it yourself. How do you fucking know you agree with it? You ain't even see what other people saying.
You don't even know both sides of it. You just agree with one part. You know,
right.
You saw the other part can have a valid argument.
Sure. Dr. Douglas, it is something in particular I wanted to ask you about this. Where do you see the economy going with Trump as president?
Oh, it's gonna be. It's like, cause I'm telling you, it's gonna be. Look, so as soon as he got elected, he ain't even in office. As soon as he got elected, they changed up the student aid and the financial shit. The shit was already on the save plan or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Where you supposed to be paying certain amounts or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really paying for them. I've been paying my shit currently. So as soon as he got elected, bro, that shit changed. I got a motherfucking statement in the motherfuckers telling that they expect the motherfuckers to pay $1,500 to $2,500 a month for this shit. There's no fucking way nobody's gonna be able to pay none of this fucking student loan shit, man. So it's gonna be weird, but I think it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be weird to see what they're gonna end up doing. People not be able to make these payments. Nobody's gonna be able to make these payments. And they keep on trying to make it seem as if the people are supposed to be able to pay shit off, but this shit is astronomical anyway, though, man. So I don't really know, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like actual births and stuff, the side of the economy, the best way to make money now currently, especially after Trump gets in office, man, is to open up as many LLCs as you can. And open up as many LLCs as you can.
Would you suggest one LLC with multiple DBAs or just multiple LLCs?
You could do both of them, but the thing about it with the multiple LLCs, once you have one, but they say you should have at least three of them. So one of them, you should establish a trust inside of that holds all of your assets currently. You feel me? So you can put all your assets you have inside of your one LLC. Your next LLC that you have, that'll be a LLC that you use and you operate as far as where you actually receive your business funding from. Right? And then the other LLC that you use, you feel me? That's the one that you actually use as you operate your business. So the one is the business, you pay the one business where the money's at, and then the other business holds the actual assets and the trust. But you need to have at least 3 of them. But when you do that too, when you move the money through your different businesses after they are established as their own unit, even though you own all 3 of them, those 3 separate businesses doing business together. So you build up the business credit for all 3 of your businesses as you are moving your own assets through each of those 3 entities alone like that.
Doug is always out here teaching, even on break. And that brother always out here teaching. There was some other things I was gonna ask y'all, but we're getting short on time. So I do want to ask y'all, is there any stories that y'all seen in 2024 that you want to touch on before we get out of here? Go ahead.
There is one that I have.
Okay.
And if you all have not gotten a chance to do this yet, I recommend that y'all find the video. It was pretty good. I just watched one of them the other night. It was pretty good. But Project Pat is now a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
There are videos of him preaching, and the brother's doing a good job. I'll tell you that. He's doing a good job. Y'all haven't checked him out? Go check him out.
Yeah, that is one. Will, you got anything?
Oh man, no, not really for this year. I mean, it's been a wild one, and I just preparing for the next one. I'm just getting ready to walk into this next one and do the most.
Okay. All right. Ashley, you got anything?
No, other than, kind of picking the back off of Kamara, I think one of the things that has just happened was the Denzel Washington situation where he got baptized and now he's a minister too. So I think that's interesting. I think some people, on the main stages are doing, doing what's best for them in their life, and they're being a public example. So I would just throw that highlight out there. That has just happened, I think, this weekend, this past Sunday, maybe.
It was this past Sunday, yep.
Yeah, so that's probably a highlight, for those people that are Denzel Washington fans out there. So,
yeah, I didn't even see that. Another thing too that kind of crossed my mind too. This is kind of something a little separate though. Kind of tied towards that, but I know too. Of course, there's been like a rift in the tide. Individuals have talked about on various platforms about like the Black community pulling away from church, going back to church. But of course, like with these other figures and stuff like that, we know of as various assets with them going back to the church. That just shows that they originally found who they were more so possibly inside of the church, So I do take light sometimes when I see these various videos where you see these individuals that are like extremely young in church, but they're on the main stage, whether they're preaching or whether they singing, so I take joy in that my own self to see that there's a little bitty star in them in front of everybody, But it's important to make sure we are able to continue to highlight those individuals that see with talent and stuff, whatever asset or avenue that is inside of them.
Yeah, I think a lot of us Blacks, we got our start to church. We found ourselves in church, even if we stray away. A lot of it still goes back to the upbringing of us in church. It goes back to morals and stuff. A lot of us got our morals and our thought process in church. Whether you believe or not believe after you leave, a lot of your morals and the way you think and the way you move still come from church and the way you treat people. So that is, I think church is always going to be a thing for me, but that's just me. Yeah, my grandma was about that life, so it's always going to be a thing for me. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all joining. Mr. Burt Glass, my dog, always.
You already know, man. Whenever you need me, I was running late today, but I came through. You had to hit the glass a few times.
Yeah. Just tap on the glass a couple times. It's all good. Man, Mr. Will have saved me on so many of occasions. Ashley, thank you so much.
I appreciate you. I always enjoy being a part of the pod. Thank you again for having me.
I know. Actually, you're not done for the year. You actually got one more to do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that part.
Yeah, one more to do. But Dr. Douglas, thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for teaching us as you always do.
Hey man, too man. If y'all want me to, man, just let me know, man. That when I'm talking about some LLCs or something, I can write it down too, man. If y'all want me, so I can have it describe what you're supposed to do with it.
It would be greatly appreciated if you
I take all the information.
every chance I get. Because
Yeah, what you got. Give it to me.
gotta prepare for 2025. Because
and I'm telling y'all, man, for real, that'll be the best way, man. Because like what he's gonna do, he's gonna release a lot of regulations on businesses. So businesses themselves are going to be able to do a lot. And right now, they already are doing a lot of funding with businesses. So there's places now you can get like a startup business that you have. Some of them, you know what I'm saying, once you have to separate it, you can get loans for $50,000 up to like $250,000, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to figure out time to sit down and have lunch with you.
That's the man to do it with. But hey, we're gonna catch y'all on the next time. If you are listening to this, you should probably take the time to check out some of the other podcasts up under the Mixed Vibes umbrella. This is I'm calling the Christmas Eve extravaganza because we got this one. We got an interview on From Our Perspective sports podcast we're doing. We got an interview dropping today as well. Mixed Vibes is dropping. Also, Distant Combos with K and S got an episode dropping. So there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? While you up here rapping gifts, go listen to more Mixed Vibes podcasts. I mean, like, let's be real. What else are you doing? I know you Christmas song down. Like, you've been listening to Christmas songs since Thanksgiving. You could take a break, listen to a couple more podcasts. But we're going to get y'all in the next one.